A moment seen around the world, but felt more in Southeast Tennessee than any place on earth.
This is the greatest day ever, the best ever.
Larry Taylor grew up in St. Elmo. After graduating college, he went to armor school at Fort Knox.
They said, well, what do you think about this tank? And I said, it sucks. I want to go to flight school. So they sent me to flight school.
This is Larry Taylor from 2018. He was sent to Vietnam in 1967. He started flying Cobra helicopters in April of '68.
We were scared most of the time, but that's what we did.
On the night of June 18th, 1968, he'd been flying Cobras for about 6 weeks. The horn went off, and within 2 minutes, Lieutenant Taylor was in the air.
We got a call that Wildcat 2 needed some help.
4 men were on the ground and surrounded. Dave Hill was one of the 4.
So over the next half hour, 35 minutes, they continually made rocket and gun runs around us.
It was dark and raining, and now Taylor was almost out of rockets, ammunition, and fuel.
I needed to think of something innovative to pull these guys out because they were going to die.
He came up with a plan and radioed the men on the ground.
Run out in what you think is 100 yards and lay down.
All of a sudden we feel this downdraft of wind, and here comes Taylor's Cobra, and he's landing.
2 of them jumped on the far side. They were sitting on the skid holding on to the strut, and these 2 jumped on the rocket pods.
Larry Taylor saved the lives of 4 soldiers that night. This type of evacuation had never been done before. He received the Silver Star for the combat action. It wasn't until about 30 years later until some of those men on the ground met Taylor face to face.
We were talking about it, said, look, why didn't he get the Medal of Honor? I said, well, we always assumed he did. Obviously he didn't. I don't know where to go from here.
So you assumed that he had already, is that right?
Up to 1999, our first reunion in Branson, then we found out, no, he hadn't gotten it.
So in early 2017, Hill and others went to work to try to get that Silver Star upgraded to the Medal of Honor.
The entire process was totally new to all of us.
That process took years and a mountain of paperwork. The Army, they said no twice, but about 4 years into the process, the group finally got the help they needed and retired 4-star General B.B. Bell.
The Army makes this tough to have an award of the Medal of Honor approved. So do the other services. It ought to be tough. This is the nation's highest award for valor.
General Bell determined the missing piece was that when Taylor's command awarded the Silver Star, they never talked to the men on the ground. The group was able to highlight that information in a new nomination package that ultimately moved forward to the Pentagon and then to the president's desk. On September 5th, 55 years after that combat action and after more than 6 years to work to upgrade the Silver Star, Larry Taylor became the newest recipient of the Medal of Honor.
And somebody asked me, would you go back and do it all over again? Yeah, tomorrow. If I could remember how to start the damn helicopter. But yeah, I'd do it all over. Because that's the most important thing that I'd ever done in my life, before or since.